Hello everyone, you're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through top news across Canada.
Alleged car thieves seen entering homes in search of key fobs in new video. Teenage girl run over while skateboarding behind truck in Uxbridge dies in hospital police. Two Ferraris stolen from Ontario were given fraudulent wins and re-registered in Alberta police. Off-duty Waterloo police officer charged after man crashes into tree in Brantford during pursuit. Woman searches for lost dog as Toronto nonprofit warns of spike in vandalized posters. Adil Shamji steps down from Ontario Liberal leadership race, will support Crombie. Toronto cop accused of helping others cheat to obtain promotions pleads guilty to misconduct charges.
These were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details.
A teenage girl has died in hospital after she was run over by a pickup truck in an Uxbridge parking lot last week, Durham Regional Police say. The incident occurred at around 6:25 p.m. on September 22nd in a parking lot located at 335 Main Street North. According to police witnesses, reported seeing a 16-year-old female skateboarding behind a silver Dodge pickup truck while holding on to rear side of the vehicle near the wheel. At one point, the witnesses said she lost her balance, fell to the ground, and was run over by the truck. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene, police said. She was initially taken to a local hospital for treatment, but was later transferred to Toronto Trauma Centre, where she died early this week. Police confirmed in a news release issued Thursday. The teen, police said, had previously signed up to be an organ donor when she got her G1 license, and following her death, 7 lives were saved by organs she donated. Adil Shamji is dropping out of race for leader of the Ontario Liberals to support Mississauga Mayor Crombie instead. In a statement to Awaz News, Crombie said she's thrilled to have Shamji's support. He's a brilliant and dedicated MPP who brought both his intellect and empathy to Queen's Park and this leadership race, Crombie said. Eddie's Network, a Toronto-based advocacy group for lost dogs in the GTA, is warning of a spike in vandalized and removed posters for missing pets. In an interview with Awaz News, Evelyn Good, an administrator for Eddie's Network, said that poster removal is becoming an issue with almost every lost dog in Toronto. One gentleman in particular has been removing posters in Hyde Park, she said. Another is ripping them down on Queen Street West. We run into people who think Eddie's Network might be a scam or that we are taking advantage of people with lost dogs, and that couldn't be further from the truth, but they are ripping down hundreds of posters anyway. While posters may seem old school for some, Good says postering remains the most effective way to raise awareness for a lost pet. Brenna Hans, a dog owner who has been affected by the poster removals in Toronto. Her dog Willow, a 9-year-old, managed to get loose while under the care of a dog sitter in Hyde Park on September 15. She's been missing ever since. Hans says she's increasingly concerned that Willow has been picked up off the streets and has effectively been stolen. Since she hasn't been spotted anywhere, it's a possibility we are all considering, she said. We have done everything right, we are calling every vet in the area and adding pictures, putting up posters. But that effort almost feels wasted when people come to take down the posters. Police have recovered 2 Ferraris that were stolen from Ontario earlier this year and subsequently re-registered in Alberta using fraudulent vehicle identification numbers. The first vehicle was seized after police pulled over its driver for a traffic violation in downtown Edmonton on September 12th. At the same time, the Alberta RCMP North Auto Theft Unit was conducting an investigation into 2 stolen Ferraris. In a news release issued on Thursday, police said the investigators soon realized that the stolen Ferrari was connected to that initial investigation. 3 days later, on September 15, members of the RCMP executed a search warrant on a residence in Leduc County and seized another stolen Ferrari. Police said that both stolen vehicles had been given fraudulent vehicle identification numbers and re-registered in Alberta. The vehicles included a 2017 Ferrari 488 and a 2023 Ferrari F8 Tributo, and had a combined value of nearly $1 million, police say. Police have since charged 2 Edmonton residents with a number of offences related to the investigation, including possession of property obtained by crime. The Waterloo Regional Police officer has been charged following an off-duty pursuit in Brantford early this year that left a 25-year-old man seriously injured. The Special Investigations Unit SIU announced on Thursday that Constable Andrew Paul Dory is facing one count of dangerous driving in connection with the January 17th incident. The SIU said Director Joseph Martino has reasonable grounds to believe that Paul Dury, who was off work at the time of the incident, committed a criminal offense. Paul Dury was driving a non-police vehicle when he allegedly chased a man who fled the Brantford Commons Plaza in a Chevrolet Planter. The man traveled south on King George Road and then went east on Dunsdon Street. He shortly crashed into a tree near Dunsdon Street and Winding Way. The SIU said the man fled on foot but was later arrested. He was subsequently diagnosed and with a serious injury. The circumstances that led the officer to pursue the man are unknown. Paul Dury, a 2-year member of Waterloo Regional Police, is scheduled to appear in Brantford Court next month. In a brief statement, Waterloo Regional Police said they cannot provide further information at this time. A Toronto police superintendent accused of helping several members of force gain an unfair advantage in a promotions process has pleaded guilty to 7 misconduct charges under the Police Services Act. At a police tribunal Thursday, Superintendent Stacey Clark pleaded guilty to the non-criminal charges, which include breach of confidence, discreditable conduct, and insubordination. The charges against her were made public almost 2 years ago, back in January 2022. Clark has been on the force since 1998. He was promoted to superintendent in July 2020 and was assigned to 42 Division as managing superintendent in October 2021. According to an agreed statement of facts, Clark sat on an interview panel tasked with selecting constables for promotion to sergeant and was specifically advised against communicating with applicants she was mentoring. Despite that email warning on November 10, 2021, she texted images of questions for the Toronto Police Sergeant's interview to 6 constables on different dates later that month and also ran mock interviews with some of them. Clark later instructed one of the officers to delete the photos of the questions according to the statement of facts. In another instance, she had one applicant who was a longtime family friend and mentee over to her home for coaching over 3 days in December 2021, where she asked him questions which had already been put to other applicants, sometimes word for word, the statement says. She then participated in the panel interviewing the officer, Constable Horace Harvey, without disclosing their personal or mentor-mentee relationship. Harvey has since pleaded to one account of discreditable conduct for cheating during the promotional process, and he received a 6-month demotion. The other officers were disciplined within their units and were docked anywhere from 10 to 20 days' pay. In addition to the conflicts of interest, the statement of facts says a review of Clark's text messages found messages between Clark, a civilian member of the force, and an employee of the Toronto Police Services Board that were inconsistent with the service's commitment to anti-racism. The exact content of the text was not disclosed in the documents. Toronto Police said Thursday that they could not comment on ongoing tribunal matters. Clark was briefly suspended with pay on January 12, 2022, but was reinstated on February 14 that year. She remains on active duty, Toronto Police said. Her sentencing would take place at a later date. Police have released new video footage that shows a group of suspects gaining access to several York Region homes in an apparent attempt to find key fobs for vehicles parked outside. Police say that they believe the suspects are specifically targeting homes in order to steal vehicles. 2 of the suspects were already arrested in June and charged with a number of offenses, but a 3rd suspect remains outstanding. The footage released by police on Thursday shows 2 incidents which took place in August. In one of the incidents, the suspects appeared to notice the side mirror of an SUV that is extended, indicating that it was unlocked. They stop their vehicle at the end of the driveway, and one of them goes into the vehicle and retrieves a garage door opener. 3 suspects appear to enter home, but they return minutes later empty-handed and drive away without taking the vehicle. In the second incident, at least 2 of the suspects walk along the side of the house in order to gain access to fenced backyard. One of them is then seen entering the house through an unlocked screen door while the other waits. Suspect emerges moments later with a key fob that he then uses to operate a vehicle parked in front of the driveway. The amount of time that elapsed between the suspects arriving at the home and leaving in the stolen vehicle was about 4 minutes. The third suspect that remains outstanding is described as a black male who is about 5'11" to 6 feet tall, weighing approximately 150 pounds, and in his mid-20s. He was last seen wearing all black clothing with his pant legs tucked into his socks. Police say that their investigation remains ongoing.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.